Welcome to this YouTube channel. In this video we are going to talk about the top 10 most haunted places in US. Before starting this video, like this video and subscribe to our channel for future updates. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, America's communities are full of spooky tales that have been passed down through the generations, featuring everything from haunted fortresses to gory tales of pain and death. We've compiled a list of some of the most terrifying locations in the United States. Number 10. Moundsville Penitentiary. For more than a century, the Moundsville Penitentiary in West Virginia served as one of the country's most violent correctional facilities, and it was the final resting place for nearly 1,000 convicts. The prisoners were forced to live in squalid conditions, which resulted in riots. Another factor was the fact that many men were hanged or died in the electric chair, while others were killed by other prisoners. Although the jail was closed in 1995, some believe that the tortured spirits are still behind bars and in the prison's bowels, and that they can be seen or heard on a tour of the facility. Number 9. Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. Since its inception in 1864, this institution, formerly known as the Weston State Hospital, has been the home to thousands of patients suffering from mental illness. Before the hospital closed its doors in 1994, hundreds of people died there. When the asylum was used as a military base during the Civil War, it is believed that the spirits that still haunt the place trace back to that time period. A 2-hour visit to each of the asylum's 4 most active hot zones is included in the paranormal tours of the facility. The more extreme ghost hunt is an 8-hour, overnight paranormal excursion with expert ghost hunting guides who will lead you through the paranormal realm. Number 8. Villisca Axe Murder House. When a gruesome tragedy took place at 5082nd Street on June 10, 1912, the old white frame house was transformed into a crime scene. A little town in Iowa was rocked by the horrible murder of Josiah B. Moore, his wife, their 4 children, and 2 young girls who were overnight guests. The murderer was never discovered, and the population was left in shock. Over time, occupants of the home have claimed seeing a man wielding an axe, hearing children sobbing, and experiencing unexplained paranormal phenomena. After being restored to its original form, which included no indoor plumbing or electricity, the property was opened to the public in 1994. These small details contribute to the eerie atmosphere created during a lamplight tour, which is accessible from April through November, or an overnight adventure, which may be reserved for groups. Number 7. Sammie Dean. Jerome, Arizona, is a ghost town with a paranormal reputation that extends back to the Wild West. It was formerly known as a copper mining town, despite the fact that the town has shrunk to 400 residents, down from 15,000 in its heyday. Folklore has it that there are many more ghostly residents from the days of mining accidents and gunfights still roaming around. Working girl Sammie Dean, a prostitute who was strangled by a customer in the Old Crib district, is one such ghost that is well known in the area. Her beautiful spirit wanders the alleys in search of her assailant, who was never apprehended. Number 6. Cuban Club. The Cuban Club, also known as Circulo Cubano de Tampa, is located in the Ybor City district of Tampa, Florida. In 1917, this location was a popular gathering place for Cuban immigrants, who took use of the ballroom, outdoor band shell, and cantina, which had a stage and a dance floor for entertainment. It is still used for concerts and special events today, and it has been the backdrop for many ghost stories of spirits playing the piano and riding the elevators. The compound is listed on the National Historic Register and is protected by the National Park Service. Number 5. Fort Mifflin. Fort Mifflin, which was built in 1771, is the only Revolutionary War battleground in the United States that has survived intact. There are 14 renovated buildings on the grounds, which are located on the Delaware River, and there are rumored to be many ghosts from the past. There is a wailing woman who has been believed to haunt the fort. Her cries are so loud that the Philadelphia police have been summoned to investigate, only to discover that there is no one there. Other characters in the local ghost legends include a faceless guy who wanders about the fort, a tour guide dressed in revolutionary clothing, and a slew of children and pets who appear on the grounds. Number 4. Moon River Brewery. Despite the fact that the Moon River Brewery first opened its doors in Savannah in 1999, the building itself is one of the city's oldest, dating back to 1821. When it first opened its doors, it was known as the City Hotel, a high-end establishment with a history of bloodshed during the American Civil War. Many men were slain in the hotel during intense altercations, including a Yankee who was beaten to death by locals in 1860. Bar-goers have reported seeing bottles unexpectedly fly through the air, and witnesses and guests being pushed, caressed, and even slapped by unidentified forces in recent years. It is reported that one of the resident apparitions, Toby, lurks around the billiards area, keeping an eye out for the next great bar brawl. Number 3. The Sultan's Palace. With its elegant wrought iron balconies and a spacious courtyard, 716 Dauphine Street is a quintessential French Quarter gem. While this mansion was once a haven for the Sultan, a wealthy man with a decadent lifestyle, numerous wives and children, and an enforced harem of women and young boys, it was transformed into a house of horrors in the 1800s under his rule. The unusual habits of this individual, who had a penchant for partying, opium, and torture, were brought to the attention of his neighbors. The Sultan's death, however, remained the greatest mystery in the home, as he was buried alive in the courtyard after his family and harem were slashed to pieces in a carnage by an unknown assailant. It is said that his enraged spirit is responsible for the strange noises, loud music, and pungent incense scents that emanate from the house, as well as uninvited approaches on prior female inhabitants who claim that the Sultan is still up to his old antics of groping female visitors. Number 2. Calcasieu Courthouse. Toni Jo Henry has been the talk of the small town of Lake Charles since the 1940s, when she was convicted of murdering a man without a trial. Her extraordinary beautiful looks were almost as well known as her talent. The former prostitute persuaded a gentleman in a pickup truck to give her a ride when she was strolling the highway with a buddy on her way to free her true love from a Texas prison. According to court documents, the clever Toni Jo, who had charmed the courtroom and jail personnel while dividing the town over her suspected guilt, had to go through 3 trials before a jury found her guilty. Tiger Girl, a homicidal beauty who went by the moniker Tiger Girl, became the first woman in the state to die in the electric chair in 1942. Her soul still lingers in the courthouse today, and employees claim to have felt her presence, heard her screams, and even smelled her flaming hair while working there. Many people say that she tinkers with office equipment, locks doors, and interferes with the day-to-day operations of the courts in her spare time. Number 1. Eastern State Penitentiary. The Eastern State Penitentiary, located on the outskirts of Philadelphia, may be the most terrifying spot in the city. Because of its huge size and hefty budget, the former prison was the first of its kind in the country. Founded on Quaker principles, it was known for having notoriously stringent rules that encouraged isolation and punishment. Inmates were hooded whenever they walked outside their cells, and the sole source of light was a skylight, which was supposed to be bringing them the light of God, according to the guards. To this day, tortured souls, notably the Light of God, Sultan, continue to persistently roam the grounds of the cemetery. What do you think about this video? Do let us know down in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from us again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go.